Hey everyone, how you doing? I'm Donald Rand, and I'm here to talk to you about New York Yankees baseball, baby. Just count those rings. Well, my friends, believe it or not, it's been a pretty news-heavy couple of weeks for our Bronx Bombers, despite not playing a single game. Yes, we have now officially entered the offseason since the Washington Nationals defeated the Houston Astros in the Fall Classic to bring the title to DC for the very first time. To begin the show, let's talk injuries. The Yankees organization announced a handful of surgeries to take place this offseason. Our first baseman, Luke Voit, will have his sports hernia surgically removed, and starting pitcher Masahiro Tanaka will have some bone spurs removed from his elbow. Both players should be ready by spring training, so I see this as an absolute win. Voit was sidelined for the later portion of this past season as a result of that hernia, and his performance when he was on the field was very uncharacteristic of himself. This surgery should be the first step into getting things back to normal for him. Now Tanaka, on the other hand, showed no signs of negative effects as a result of his affliction, so having these spurs removed shouldn't affect his play too much. If anything, he'll be even more comfortable on the mound. Now on to Aaron Hicks. On October 30th, Hicks underwent Tommy John surgery to repair a ligament in his right elbow. He's looking at about 8 to 10 months recovery time, so we can expect to see him back on the diamond next July or so. Starting 2020 on the injured list obviously isn't what Hicks or the Yankee fans wanted, but there is a bit of good news to come from all this. With our starting center fielder sidelined for the majority of next season, I think this is a great reason for the Yankees to re-sign the free agent Brett Gardner. Now Gardy had a career year for us this past season and stepped up big time when other outfielders went down. If I were the GM Brian Cashman, I'd offer Gardner another year to play in the Bronx. Speaking of free agency, we've got to talk about Aroldis Chapman. The American League Reliever of the Year has decided to not become a free agent. The Cuban Missile decided against opting out of his remaining 2 years and $30 million contract to instead add one more year for an extra $18 million. This means he'll be pitching in pinstripes through 2022, and he'll earn $48 million over the next 3 years. That's not a bad deal for old Chappie and the Yanks, if you ask me. Despite giving up the season-ending home run to Altuve, he had one hell of a year. As frustrated as I was after that ALCS loss, I can still appreciate the other numbers he put up, and hope that he can do the same next year. And while we're on the topic of Yankees pitching, sign Garrett Cole. Give that man a blank check, and let's call it a productive winter. Nah, but what I was gonna say is that the Yankees have fired their pitching coach, Larry Rothschild. You'll see MLB Network and ESPN reporting that the Yankees and Rothschild are quote-unquote parting ways, but the fact of the matter is that he had 1 year left on his contract, and the Yankees told him to take a hike. If the Yankees and Rothschild were truly parting ways, then they'd let the last year of his contract play out and give someone else a shot. Obviously, that's not the case, considering the Yankees are in win-now mode, and I think this is a good move. Nothing against Rothschild, but I think some new blood in the dugout could be beneficial to the Yankees' rotation. And if it were up to me, I think the 5-time world champion and former Yankee starter David Cone would be a perfect fit. Rothschild is too old school for me, and a guy like Cone could really modernize the Yankees' pitching staff. Currently, Cone is a broadcaster for the YES Network, and on the air, he constantly talks about the team's necessity to embrace the new analytics of baseball, such as breaking point and spin rate. If anyone can help modernize this team, it's my man Coney. Only drawback is, if Cone is hired as pitching coach, that leaves a vacancy in the Yankees broadcast booth. Now, I've got nothing better to do, so if YES Network wants to leave a comment down below, I'd be more than happy to help fill in. And until next time, I'm Donald Rand, and let's go Yankees! Thanks for listening.